All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. This is an article from rtnews.com. Okay, and as we've been telling you, the closer and closer this we get to this vaccine coming out, the more and more they want to silence any opposition or any narratives or voices that are not a part of their narrative. All right, so as you can see, it says silencing discussion. UK Labour Party demands online crackdown on anti-vax disinformation ahead of COVID-19 vaccine rollout. Okay, and basically we also warn people, all right, about the dangers of the vaccine and not to take it. Okay, now the more and more news that comes out on the vaccine, all right, they're gonna make it to where if you speak on it, they're gonna take down your video or they're gonna shut down your channel, and it's gonna make it impossible for us to basically do videos on it because we are supposed to prophesy onto you people as to what is happening and what is about to happen. And if the main thing that's happening is dealing with the vaccine, but we can't speak on that, it's ultimately bringing in the famine of the word. All right, where the Lord is gonna make it impossible for us to do these videos, and He's gonna have it to where we're not able to go out to the highways and byways. You notice how they're doing the lockdowns again, okay? And this time they're making it harsher than before. Now the first lockdown, brothers were still able to go out there and push, but this time, all right, it seems they're gonna make it much more intense, because the vaccine is gonna be out now, which is gonna be justification for bringing out the troops like they're doing in the UK. And as the case numbers go up, the measures will get more draconian and they will get harsher and harsher to where it's basically going to be impossible for you to even leave your house. Okay, and they're doing that in the UK. They're saying, well, if you leave your house, being that the police and the troops are out, they're going to ask you, what are you doing out? And you have to have a valid reasons. They give you a couple categories of reasons you can be out. You know, so here it is, and you also have certain areas where they tell you have to alert the officials before leaving your house. So they're basically gonna monitor everything you're doing. But ultimately, if the Lord does it in a way where it's impossible for us to go out and teach, and they take down our videos and stop us from uploading videos and so on and so forth, well, we already know what time it is. It says, with the UK preparing for a COVID-19 rollout or COVID-19 vaccine rollout, the Labour Party is calling for emergency censorship legislation to punish social media companies if they allow posting of what is considered to be anti-vax disinformation. Anti-vax disinformation means any information against the vaccine is anti-vax disinformation. That's what they call it. It says social media companies have a pitiful record of tackling disinformation. Shadow Culture Secretary Joe Stevens tweeted on Sunday, the government needs to stop dragging its heels and force companies to remove this dangerous content ahead of the rollout of the coronavirus vaccine. What's really dangerous is that they're trying to, and this is going to be a loophole around your freedom of speech and all of that. Okay, you only have freedom of speech, all right, within the ballpark that they allow you to. Okay, freedom of politically correct speech. That's what you have. Stevens and Lieber's shadow health secretary, Jonathan Ashworth, have co-authored a letter demanding that the government impose financial and criminal penalties on social media platforms that fail to censor anti-vaccine posts. You hear that? So now these companies, whether YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform, okay, that you're allowed to post information, Twitter, and basically communicate with the world from, they're going to be under a lot of heat and under a lot of pressure to make sure that they don't get hit with these penalties and these financial and criminal penalties, because they're going to be in quote unquote danger of promoting anti-vax disinformation, which, as they say, it's dangerous. So if you don't shut down people on your platform teaching these things, then you're just as guilty because you're allowing them to. It says here, social media firms must face sanctions for facilitating the spread of dangerous and harmful anti-vax disinformation demands at UK Labour via Guardian. Now, what is this going to do? This is going to embolden and empower these platforms to take it over the edge, you know, because they could just say anything remotely close. And, oh, that's disinformation, and it can possibly potentially lead to anti-vax dangers. So we took it down. Matter of fact, we just shut down your channel. Really, you can't you can't even upload from this IP address anymore. I mean, they can do that. They repealed the net neutrality thing years ago. Okay. And a lot of people started to forget about it, but it's still there. It's under the wraps, man. They got it. It says the government must deal with some of the dangerous nonsensical anti-vax stuff that we've seen spreading on social media, which erodes trust in the vaccine. You see, they're straight up, directly coming and telling you, look, and this is a step towards enemy of the state, because it starts with the vaccines, but it's interlinked with a lot of things, you know, because now if they were to link like the chip, for example, with the vaccine, then they could do the same thing if you speak against it. And then soon it's going to be, if you speak against anything that the government or the health authorities are saying, then we can't allow that. And what do we do as prophets? Okay, let's get that real quick. So they're basically going to try to stop us from prophesying. Jeremiah 28:8. All right, it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's what we're doing. Okay, we're warning people about the dangers of this vaccine. We're warning them about the evil that these people are trying to bring through their agenda. We're warning them of the impending war and the dangers that are ahead. And we're speaking against, all right, this system. Okay, so in that sense, they will deem us what? Enemies of the state, or disinformationists, disinformationalists, if that's a word. All right. He said, Ashworth said, he added that the government will need strong public health messaging to ensure that legitimate questions are answered and fears are allayed. But what if those fears are true? That's the thing. They're going to make sure, you know, that nobody else is there to tell you anything. So all you know, all your answers come from them. All right. It says a vaccine is our great hope for coming months. We'll work to promote it on a cross-party basis. We need strong public health messaging, mobilize and resource our NHS to deliver it, and take on dangerous anti-vax disinformation. And soon they're gonna come after people, all right, who are quote unquote anti-vaxxers or pushing, as they say, disinformation. All right, they're gonna put some of them in hey, it tells you in Revelation 2:10. Okay, Revelation 2:10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. What reason would they have to cast us into prison? Unless they make it so whatever we're teaching is against the law, or it's potential for them to be able to round us up and throw us in isolation camps and concentration camps or labor camps, whatever they want to call it. Okay? Because then they could say, well, hold up. If you're an anti-vaxxer, that means you are a potential COVID-19 threat, a COVID spreader, because you don't want to get the vaccine, so your chances of having it are higher than everybody else, and we can't have that. So throw them in them labor camps, them isolation camps. They've come out and said it. It's not conspiracy theories anymore. They came out and said it straight up. They have those camps and they're ready to use them. All right? Let's play this here.
Well, I think everybody involved in the vaccine discovery deserves credit, particularly our scientists in the United Kingdom. We can be immensely proud of what they've achieved, and we've seen some of our scientists at Imperial there in your package. I think a vaccine is a great hope for the coming months, but we know the World Health Organization has warned of vaccine hesitancy. So I think the government needs to do three things, and we want to work with them on a cross-party basis, have strong public health messaging. People will have legitimate questions about the vaccine. Strong public health messaging should allay those fears and should allow people to get the questions, their queries answered. Secondly, mobilise our NHS and our public health infrastructure and resource them properly to get the vaccine out quickly. But thirdly, deal with some of the dangerous, nonsensical anti-vax stuff that we've seen spreading on social media, which erodes trust in the vaccine. We're calling on the government, we're asking the government that we will work with you on a cross-party basis to put in place measures to deal with that anti-vax nonsense that sadly is still available on social media platforms.
And we've already seen what they did to that woman who so-called organized the anti-lockdown protest. All right, and this time, man, they have once they institute them labor camps and them isolation camps fully, it's gonna be easier because once they catch you now, they don't have to release you. They have a place that they can take you and keep you there. All right. And for people who are anti-vax, well, guess what? That's why they have concentration camps to brainwash you and re-educate you. All right, so that when they let you out, if they let you out, you don't go back to the way you were before. I mean, who's to say what they're gonna do in these camps? You think they're actually gonna show you what they truly do in these camps? Nah, until you get up in there and you're stuck in there. All right, and now all these other companies are just so happening to coming out with these vaccines. You have Pfizer that came out. You had what's the other one? Moderna. They said that their vaccine is 95% effective now. Stocks are rising, but things are about to get bad, man. Things are about to get bad. Says Facebook, Twitter, and Google agreed last week to help the UK government to blunt the spread of vaccine misinformation and disinformation. The companies promised to help spread government-promoted messaging about vaccine safety and to ensure a quick response to content that has been flagged by health officials. They also agreed to block people profiting from anti-vaccine content. All right, they're not going to take down your video; they're going to block you. But Stevens and Ashworth said that anti-vax groups were flagged months ago to social media to social media platforms remain active. So now they're coming on them. All right, they getting on their back heavy, so that they have no option. And then, lo and behold, Bojo Boris Johnson hosts Bill Gates and pharma bigwigs to plot COVID-19 vaccine deployment as UK military preps for biggest effort since World War II. They're about to come down with that great wrath, man. The UK has ordered 40 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine developed by Pfizer and BioNTech, and it aims to get emergency approval to start distribution by next month. But Labour's push to censor discussion that it deems false is raising concern that proper scrutiny of the vaccine won't be allowed in a country that was forced to pay settlements to patients who suffered brain damage resulting from the H1N1 vaccine in 2009. Yeah, even if you have valid information as to some people might take the vaccine and be like, yo, I'm not feeling too good. You go up there and you try to put a video on that, that's going to promote anti-vaccine. It's going to promote vaccine hesitancy. So that's a no-no. Even if you get these wild symptoms, that's a no-no. It says, this is scary. Writer Sue Cook tweeted, censorship? If we objectively want to investigate issues around the safety of a particular vaccination before rolling it out, surely that's good. It's not a matter of being anti-vax. But, once again, who determines what anti-vax is? Them. So some of the videos that they took down for us, man, look, man, it wasn't even remotely close. But if they could find even a tiny grain of sand in your video or your content or your title that they can link, all right, and throw under the umbrella of anti-vax, they're going to do it. All right. Or if they need to make up new guidelines so they can say you broke them, they're going to do that too, man. It says, former Labour MP Ruth Smith, who now leads a free speech group called the Index of Censorship, argued that rational argument will be lost if anti-vaccine discussion is pushed underground. Surely the answer isn't to ban the anti-vaxxers, but to explain why they are wrong on every available platform, she said. But that's not what they're gonna do. They're gonna ban it. They're gonna stop it. They don't even want that room of doubt in people's minds, all right, of people doubting them. They don't want that. Okay? And they got the power to, man. And very soon they're gonna start doing things to where a lot of these people who are coming out and saying, no, you can't do that, they're gonna start disappearing. The voices of them are gonna be less and less and less. All right. And that's when a lot of people are gonna be asked out, man. Okay, but that was pretty much it. The update, as we get closer and closer to winter and closer to this vaccine rollout, let's see, what happens, man. All right. But with that, I hope you were edified. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.